does it mean about being cut off from being a nation? Guess what? A nation, meaning what happened to the Israelites? You always hear about them talking about the Jews over there in Israel, right? We know those are the fake Jews, correct?
Yeah.
And everybody knows that. That's why there's so much war over there.
They had to take Christians out of the picture.
So look, they always say they're Jews. The word Jew is short for the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Which goes into Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That was what was those three tribes what was left during the time of Christ. The 10 tribes had already left and came on this side of the earth, okay?
What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
I'll tell you why we can't come together, because your people grew up as Catholics, his people grew up as Baptists, right? You ain't gonna come together. Y'all can't agree on belief, number one. Then number two, you know what I'm saying? They say this person may be a homosexual, this person's straight. Oh, this person here is a, what do you call it, a pedophile. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's to pick a side.
Yeah, everybody got to pick a side, so you're talking to divide them in their hood. So that's why we be gang banging, Bloods, Crips, Gangster Disciples, Vice Lords, Latin Kings, all that stuff, Neckties, all that.
Read. They cool.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 3.
Read.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
It said, can two people walk together except they be agreed? That's the question. Can they walk together if they're not in the same agreement? No, you can't come together.
Right.
You gotta remember, like, if you believe in darkness, this one believes in light. They're not gonna come together. You got 5%ers, you got this person in Christianity, this person a Muslim, they can never come together.
And the people that can are the ones that see there's no darkness without the light.
Right, yeah.
So
But they can't coexist together.
Without understanding that side and this side, you gotta be able to mesh and take away the beliefs of someone else and mix it and show how the beliefs you have, how that reflects it.
But it's
how does it correlate?
Yeah, it would never correlate because there's two different things. That's why you gotta come together, come back to who you are, who you was created to be. Then you will come together and unite.
And the way to unite though is also seeing someone else's downsides or something you don't agree with them. It's something they don't correct. It's almost agreeing to disagree at a point, because without that we can't further. We can't move further. You can't convert a person who.
And that's what you see now. Hey, look, that's what you see now. Hey, look, that's what you see now.
Eventually, the end goal would be to be here.
Right.
But right now, we both here. So how we do that?
Yeah.
We understand each other this whole road. We understand each other. We figure it out, and then we both can come to that conclusion. But you can't tell somebody straight up.
Here's the conclusion.
I don't believe that, so we can't.
Here's the conclusion. Give me go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 12. Start at 12 real quick, because like you said, all those religions, all those beliefs, all those different deities, whatever it is, all that stuff, look, everything that stems from some kind of knowledge, whether it's false or whether it's real, right? So watch this right here. But it all comes from a book, right? Everything comes from a book, a source. Read what you got.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 12. And further, by these, my son.
This is King Solomon. He wrote the book of Ecclesiastes. Read. He said, further by these, my sons, right? Read.
Be admonished of making many books.
He said, be admonished. Remember, he was the wisest man, okay, that walked this earth, okay? He knew how the earth was created. He knew all that stuff. Most High gave him all that wisdom, and they gave him all that royalty. When he ruled the earth, it was kingdom of heaven on the earth for the Israelites, because that was us, all right? So he knew, he said, hey, remember, he fell off, though, for a moment. He started trying to figure, he had all the different wives and all that stuff, and it caused him to fall.
Right.
But he repented from that. But because of that, we lost the kingdom behind that. It was a split in Israel, okay? But read.
Of making many books.
Making many what?
Making many books.
That's those different beliefs and all that stuff that they got us into, while we can't come together, okay? Read.
Of making many books. There is no end.
There is no end, because there's a lot of books. I could read knowledge about this. I could read about how to paint a house. I could read about how to be a drug dealer. This, that, and the third. Read.
And much study is a weariness of the flesh.
And it's tiresome, right? Because you can read all these books, but the main thing is one book that you need to read right here. That's going to tell you how to live your life. Read.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Here's the conclusion of the whole matter right here. Everything here, everything that you see here on earth. Read.
Fear God.
Your job to be here is to fear God. People don't know how to fear. Remember I told you, you don't love God. If you keep his commandments, you love him. If you fear him, meaning you keeping his commandments. Meaning, hold this real quick. Let me show you what the fear of God is, okay? Go to Psalms 119 and 120. This is what it means to fear God right here. Because you feared your mom when she pulled that belt out, when you didn't wash some dishes, or you didn't get good grades, or you decided to go chill out with Ray Ray over there and she told you not to, or your dad told you not to. You got that butt whooped, right? But God, he punishes us as well. Okay, his punishment is harsh. That's the Father right there. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and 120.
Read.
My flesh trembleth for fear of thee.
This is King David. He said, my flesh trembleth for fear of thee, Lord. Read.
And I am afraid of thy judgments.
So I'm afraid of the judgments that he will put on you.
Right.
Let's say what the judgments is. Read. Is more?
No, sir.
Go to, this is what the judge, give me Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28. Watch this right here. This is what Christ said. This is written in red. This is what the black Messiah said. And Christ ain't no Caucasian man. Christ looked like us, man. Okay? Yeah, and dark skin.
How you?
Dark skin. Watch this because the Tainoians were dark skin.
That's how
okay? Hey, but there's been a like my people, so-called Native Americans today. So I'm from the tribe of Gad. You from the tribe of
black and white people here on the Americans before they even got here, before the Spaniards got here.
Yeah, that was the so-called Native Indians, okay?
Yeah, but you don't know about the white-haired people that were here.
10 tribes, okay? Huh?
The white-haired people that were here before.
No, no white-haired people. All these. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how. Let me show you how. I'm gonna show you how we got here. I'm gonna show you how we got here and what Columbus saw. How did Columbus get over here? He used the Bible to get here to Arsenal. That's what
Bring it out.
It's called. But read what you got.
Matthew chapter 10 verse 28.
Right now, read.
And fear not them which kill the body.
You hear that? Christ said, don't fear them. Don't fear man, because man can kill your immortal body. Right? Read.
But are not able to kill the soul.
Right. He can kill your mortal body, but he can't kill your immortal soul. Your soul lives forever. Right? But read.
But rather fear him.
He said, rather fear him. Who is him? He's talking about the Most High God. Okay, read.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
That's what you don't want. You don't want to get cast into that lake of fire. This is a spiritual death.
Right.
Okay, when you get tormented forever. You burn, you just in torment. Remember, you familiar with the Bible? A little bit. Did you ever hear about Lazarus and the rich man?
Yeah.
You ever heard that before, that brother? About Lazarus and the rich man? Yeah. Remember the rich man, he lived a glamorous life, right? So he was out here, he was living it up, he was doing what he wanted to do. Lazarus was the poor man, but Lazarus kept God's commandments. So when they both died, both of them died. Lazarus went into the kingdom of heaven. That rich man, he died, he got tormented in hell. Okay, when he was in that spirit, he said, can you please, he said, hey, can you tell Lazarus, can he go and teach my brothers and them so they don't come to this place, okay? And this is another realm, okay? That's gonna be opened up, and that's gonna be the lake of fire. He said, can he take some water and dip it on my tongue? He said, I'm in torment day by day, all night in this place. You do not want to go there. And that's what he said. He said, rather fear him. Read it again.
Verse 28, and
Read.
fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul.
Hear that? Don't fear him that can kill your mortal body. Read.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
That place there right there that you don't want to go to. That's what we're here to warn you. So you don't end up there. That way you can walk through them gates, okay? That's right. All right, watch. So we're going to touch on quite a few things. Now go back to where we was at in Psalms 83. So I'm going to answer all your questions. Yeah. But you asked one question, I want to deal with it.
I ain't going to, I did go on a little tangent.
Yeah.
I got one question.
I
got one question.
Go ahead with your question real quick.
All right, so
I'm going to answer your question too, but I want to.
Do white people, can they make it to heaven?
We're going to answer your question now, okay? Everybody gonna have a place.
I just want a yes or no though.
Look,
yes or no?
The question is this right here.
Yeah.
They're gonna be there, but it's not like what you think. Right now, this is their heaven. Okay, heaven is just rulership on the earth. Okay, right. You can't you can't go out there into the kingdom of heaven where the Most High dwell at. You're not gonna go up there. Nobody can go there in this mortal body. Okay, you have to be.
So my point is.
Yeah, John 3:13. Yeah, give me that real quick. John 3:13. Watch this right here. Okay. You got that for me? Yes, sir. Watch this right here. John 3:13 is going to show us that nobody has gone up there. Okay.
But they don't have the ability to be shooken by this.
Yeah.
John chapter 3, verse 13. And no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven.
Talking about Christ. Christ came down from the heavens, right? He died. Remember, he died for us for the remissions of our sins, right? Then he got his angelic body, right? Because he died for our sins, so he's able to descend up there. Now he's got his immortal body. That's what we living for, immortality.
Lucifer fell, not descended.
Huh?
Lucifer fell, not descended.
Lucifer is the white man.
Right.
The Bible speaker.
He came from the heavens, right?
No, listen.
Once an angel, right?
Listen. Listen what I'm trying to tell you.
He had to fall.
Greek mythology. Don't listen to Greek mythology. There's no angel out here doing what he wants to do. God is in control over everything. I'm gonna prove. Look,
so
you asked it.
There's not a Lucifer.
Hi, I want you to listen to me. We're gonna touch on everything, but you have to be patient. Please, I don't want to lose track of what I'm bringing out. But I'm going to get to your question and your question. Matter of fact, both your questions kind of go into the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, so you finished reading that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, read it from the top.
Verse 13. And no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven.
Right, except for Christ that came down from the heavens, right? Read.
Even the Son of Man which is in heaven.
Hear that? That's the Son of Man. That's Jesus the Christ. He's the only one that got this immortal body and can go up there. He can come up and down and do whatever. Man, he had powers and stuff. So now watch this right here. Go back to Psalms 83. Let's finish that out real quick. Let's start off at verse 3 real quick. Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 83 and verse 3.
Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
So God's enemies and our enemies have taken crafty counsel against us. We are the hidden ones because we don't know who we are. Read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They consulted against us privily, okay? They talk behind our back. They said we got to figure out how to keep these niggas down, how to keep these niggas, these spits, and these damn wetbacks, these prairie niggas. That's what they call Native Americans out in the Midwest, okay? They say we're gonna figure out a way to keep them down, okay? As long as they stay down, we in rulership, okay? Read.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
So what does it mean about being cut off from being a nation? Guess what? A nation, meaning what happened to the Israelites? You always hear about them talking about the Jews over there in Israel, right? We know those are the fake Jews, correct?
Yeah.
And everybody knows that. That's why there's so much war over there.
They had to take Christians out of the picture.
So look, they always say they're Jews. The word Jew is short for the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Which goes into Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That was those three tribes what was left during the time of Christ. The 10 tribes had already left and came on this side of the earth, okay? I'm gonna touch on that, so I want you to stay. I'm gonna show you how we came over here. And he could be part of that tribe too. But a lot of us, I thought I was African American too until I had to ask my family where we came from and where we descend from. Right. They said no, we were Native Indians. Right. So now then it made sense. But read what you got, watch this.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel.
The name of who?
That the name of Israel.
Puerto Rican. Look, African American, Native American, right? Yeah. That the name of Israel, remember the hidden ones, that what the name of Israel was.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Hear that? That's why we don't remember who we are. We forgot who we were, okay? But now you gotta get your identity first. You gotta know who you are to know where you're going, okay? Because the word Puerto Rican just means rich port. Are you a rich port? Hell no. Are you descended from two white men? No, because Africa comes from Leo Scipio Africanus, a Roman general that conquered Hannibal during the Second Punic Wars. Hannibal was an Israelite as well, okay? Then you got America's name after Amerigo Vespucci, right? Who was a Italian navigator, a conquistador, okay? Because he changed America he changed the land of Austria to his name.
I've heard a few different things on that, because I've heard like American, Moroccan.
Yeah, Moroccan. Moroccan. Yeah. That means you're from Morocco. That's all that means.
But they
you got
were here
you got
before
more.
they-
No, you
before
got
Columbus
people.
got here.
You got people that
Matter of
is
fact,
in
they
the
brought
Moors.
him here.
You got people that are Moors, right? The Moors were the Israelites. Okay, that was the European calling us Moor. They call us the blacks. They spoke Latin. Okay? They spoke either Spanish, French, and all those are Latin languages. Okay, and the word how do you say black in Spanish?
Blanc or negro.
Negro, right?
But would you
But what
agree
was
that the
another
black
name?
Moors
What's
were
another-
here before Columbus got here? Would you
Yeah.
agree on that?
I'm gonna show you. Look, they conquered the Moors. They conquered the Israelites during the Dark Ages.
Who did?
The so-called white man. That's what you read about
Hold
the
on,
Renaissance
but-
period.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. The Dark Ages.
Yeah,
So the
Dark- I
Moors
said the Dark-
conquered
yeah,
Europe for about 800 years, right?
Over 1,000 years.
Right. Okay.
They conquered Europe.
So they
for over
kind of got
1,000
the same
years.
story we got.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're the same people.
Let's bring it out.
Look, the Moors conquered Spain, France, Germany. All of Europe, okay?
Right,
Those were like. Remember I told you
What
about.
I'm saying
Remember I
is,
told you about King James. King
can have
James.
the same story
Yeah.
that we have.
Yeah, no, he don't have the same story.
I mean, but no, look, listen.
Yeah.
We took over Europe for 800 years, right?
Over 1,000 years.
For 1,000 years.
Yeah.
How long have we been kind of conquered?
We've been conquered for a long time.
Long time. 400, 500.
We've been conquered for a long time, right?
By who though?
These
We've
thousand.
We've been conquered by our homes, the Edomites.
Yes, I'm gonna show
Okay.
you. I'm gonna show you
Our
who we've
own
been conquered.
But I
by.
gotta make it. I gotta make it make
Watch
sense
this,
though.
yeah. Watch this. It's gonna
Yeah.
get to the point.
Right.
Read what you got.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
So all the wars that all the nations have, right? They in one consent. They may fight against each other, but they're all in agreement to
That's
keep us
right.
down.
That's
Because I used to be in the military. I went to Iraq, right? I was seeing people that looked like who the hell these damn black folks in
So,
Iraq?
was it
Yo, hold on.
okay,
Look.
all right.
I said, now so I'm over there, I'm like, who are these black people I see in Iraq that look like we looking at each other, but nobody told me who they were. The Arabs had us doing the sub-Saharan slave trade. Okay, you heard of the sub-Saharan slave trade?
Yep.
Okay, they had us in there. So we got black, you got Afro-Iranians, you got Afro-Iraqis, you got Afro-Chinese. We built the Great Wall of China.
Bring it out.
All the nations had us in slavery.
Right.
Okay, read.
They are confederate against thee.
So they are confederate against us, right? Like you got the Confederate flag, they ain't together. They're against us, right? Read.
The tabernacles of Edom.
So now the first one that mentioned said the tabernacles of Edom. Who is Edom? You know who Edom is? You know who Edom is? Remember you just mentioned, you said the Edomites, right? Right. Edomites come from Edom. Their forefather name was Esau. Esau's name was changed to Edom. Let me give you that history real quick. Let me finish up. Let's deal with this real quick. I don't want to confuse you. I want to confuse you.
Confusing me at all because.
But hold on. Let me finish up. I'm gonna get to your point there, Jamal. Bear with me, Jamal. Okay, it says Edom, right? Edom today is the so-called Caucasian man, the white man. Okay, read.
And the
The
Ishmaelites.
Ishmaelites. That's your Arabs today, okay? Why you think you got Arab little smoke shops in all our corners, right? Of our neighborhoods and our communities. They all over there. We go in there, we talk to them, but they're against us. They Muslims, they don't eat pork, but they know you're not supposed to eat pork either.
Right.
They feed it to you.
Right.
They make you smoke and
Right.
vape and all that stuff. All that stuff is poison, bro. We ain't supposed to do that.
Who lets them be there?
Huh?
Who lets them be there?
Who lets them be there? The so-called white men. Remember they said they all in coince together. They may fight against each other, but they all in coince. We gotta keep these niggas down so they make us rich. Read.
Of Moab.
Moab is the Chinese man, okay? People in China, Vietnam, and all the certain little areas there, that's Moab, okay? The Moabites. Read.
And the Hagarenes.
The Hagarenes, those are the true Africans, the Nilotic Hamitic tribes, okay? What they call Hamitic. Those like the Watusis and them, the big tall Africans, or the Sudanese that's real tall and skinny. You ever seen the Olympics? You watching the Olympics, right? You seen them run long distance and stuff. You see how they got like a funny like run to them? That's them right there. That's the true Africans.
That's
the
right.
Nilotic, okay? There's difference. Then you have ethnic that's over there in Africa, okay? Those are like the Bantus and your Ashantis, those different tribes, those are us, okay? Read.
Gibal.
Those are more Hamitic African tribes, read.
And Ammon.
Ammon is the Japanese people today, okay? That's their biblical name. All these people know their biblical name. We don't know, that's the Chinese. The Ammonites are your Japanese and your Koreans, okay? Read.
And Amalek.
Amalek, that's the one claiming to be you that stole your identity.
Bring it out.
Okay? The one that say that he's the Jew, that walk around here, he owned damn near almost all the stuff. He owned the Diamond District, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all them. That's them, man. They rule everything. That's your Illuminati in them. Read.
The Philistines.
The Philistines. Those are the other what do you call like those are the people that's there, like what you call the Palestine people, the people in Palestine, how they fighting. You got the Palestine and you got the fake Israelites. They're fighting over your land. I mean, our land was bigger than that, okay? What you see, what they call the Middle East, it was never called the Middle East. It was called Northeast Africa.
Right.
At first. Look it up. There's a new term, okay? Read.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
And Tyre and Sidon. You got these other little towns, these cities and stuff called Tyre and Sidon. You read about them in the Bible, they're still here today. Read.
Ashur is also joined with them.
Ashur is your Kurds, okay? That's the people up in the northern part of Iraq, okay? So you got like the Kurds, people from Turkey or the northern part of Iran. Those are the children of Ashur, okay? Read.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They're hoping more of the children of Lot, more of those that's going into more like people of the Ammonites or the Asian people. I'm gonna say it like that, the ones with the slanted eyes. Okay, more of them. They're hoping more of them to join with them. Okay, read.
Selah.
Selah. Right. So now you see, right, to your question, all of them is in coherence together to keep us down, right? All right. So now let's go to, because you mentioned something about the white man, right? So go to Genesis chapter 25. Let me show you how he came, and I'm gonna read down, and it's gonna give you your explanation.
I mean, there's a few things that, you know, you can say where they came from, or that they're Edomites, they came from the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah.
So at what point did the white man come into history?
That's what
What's the first evidence that the white man came into history?
That's what I'm about to ask you.
All right, go ahead.
That's why the spirit works. Read.
Start the context.
Started right in context.
I got you.
Verse 24.
Hear that.
And when her days to be delivered.
No, give it. I want to know whose mom it is. Verse 21.
21.
Yes.
Verse 21.
Here it is right here.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
So this is Isaac. This is our forefather Isaac. We had Abraham. Abraham had two sons. He had two sons that you know about, but he had more sons too. But the two ones you hear about, he had Ishmael. That's when the Ishmaelites are the Abrahams, okay? Then you have Isaac, right? So he said Isaac had his wife, right? Read.
Because she was barren.
Right, because he's married. His wife couldn't. Is it Rebecca, right? Yeah, Rebecca. She was barren. Barren meaning she wasn't able to get pregnant. Right. Read.
And the Lord was entreated of him.
So the Lord was entreated. He goes seek and pray to the Most High. Hey, I want to have kids there. You know, so like we would all do. We would reach out. Hey, if your wife couldn't get pregnant, you're gonna pray for that thing, right? So now the Lord was entreated of him. Read.
And Rebecca, his wife, conceived.
Now she conceived. Now she's pregnant, right? Read.
And the children struggled together within her.
So now it tells you something right there. There's a clue there. It said the children. So she's pregnant. What does that mean? She's pregnant with twins, right? You agree?
Twin, and I'm Isaac. That's great.
Yeah. So now Rebecca, our foremother Rebecca, had twins, right? Read.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
She said, this is supposed to be a blessing. She's going to intrigue. And why am I having these complications? Why are these babies wrestling, tussling in the womb?
That's right.
This is all the way from the womb, bro. Read.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Hear that? He said 2 nations, right? What does that mean of nations? When you read the book of Genesis, right? Genesis is the beginning of nations. You're going to read about all the nations, how they evolved, how they came about, right? So now we're hearing about 2 nations. A nation, it goes into nationality. Nationality falls into nation. So now, now she's going to give birth to 2 different nationalities, right?
I think I should restate my question.
Go ahead.
When was the first physical evidence of the white man?
That's what I'm about to get to.
No, you're going by the Bible, right?
Yes, I'm going by the Bible.
I want fossils. I want to know about the fossils.
I'm giving you records. I'm giving you God's words.
Right.
These are records, right?
So you say, I understand what you're getting from
but listen,
the Bible.
These are prophetic. Right. This is prophetic records, your history, okay? And that's what I'm gonna bring it out to your plane.
Yeah, I mean,
but don't listen to the white man. The white man gonna have you confused and throw it all over the place.
No.
Listen to this. Listen to thus said the Lord.
I don't listen to no man. I go with my heart.
And 2 manner of people.
They said 2 manner of people. Their mannerism is going to be different, right? There's a difference between the blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans toward the so-called white man, right? And the other nations. We walk different. Our swag is different. Right. We talk different. We got slang and how we speak. This Spanish is not the Spanish they speak in Spain.
Bring it out.
The English you speak is not the same English that we speak that they speak.
Right.
You You know what I'm saying? Those are the proper way to speak the language. We don't talk like them. To us, it sounds funny, but that's the
white man don't speak like they from England.
But that's their language.
Manner of speak. You got white men in Connecticut, in New York. You got white men in